Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well on this fantabulous Monday. Bank holiday Monday here in the UK. Don't really know what that means. It kind of means that nobody does anything and nothing works as it should, which is pretty much standard for any day of the year. So, bank holiday, normal day, who knows. But anyway, looking absolutely amazing. And we're going to crack right on. Got a couple of videos coming up today. The live was moved, so we'll now be doing the live this evening, not this morning, so keep your eyes peeled for that. There is a reason I've moved them. It's because the school holidays are now in effect for the next 2 weeks, and it's easier for me to do lives in the evening than it is to do them in the mornings. If that's a problem, let me know down below. If you'd like me to have a break from the lives, let me know. If you prefer them in the evenings, let me know. Anyway, so we crack on. We've got something to talk about. It's always something that we say to one another, isn't it? Follow the money. Follow the money. In the Idaho 4 case, there seems to be a lot of money floating around it. And I was thinking to myself, and I think a few people have been thinking about it, you know, what would have been the incentive for the Idaho 4 case to be handled in a specific way? And I know some of you are aware of this and some of you are not. Some of you will be aware of certain elements of this and some of you won't. But we have a situation floating around the background of the Idaho 4 case, and that is that there is a business deal, a huge business deal worth close to $700 million. And what better than $700 million or thereabouts to force a place to perhaps deal with certain things in certain ways? And perhaps there were people who could have potentially been offered backhanders or lifts up, leg ups, who knows, conspiracies, ain't it, when you start talking about things like this? But there are now issues with that deal. So, with issues with that deal, will we see some things change in Idaho around this case? Around this area? Who knows? Let's have a look, shall we? Because this is not ideal. So, we've got this here. Scrutiny mounts over Idaho-Phoenix deal. Legislative scrutiny of the University of Idaho's plan to buy the for-profit University of Phoenix has ramped up recently as key deadlines for the acquisition near. The University of Idaho's complicated acquisition of the for-profit University of Phoenix hit another roadblock. So you're going to hear some dodgy shit in this as well. Last week, when lawmakers voted to slow the sale, citing financial risks and concerns about how the deal has been handled. The acquisition, in the works since early 2023, has drawn sharp scrutiny from Idaho lawmakers in recent months. State Attorney General Raul Labrador took the Idaho Board of Education to court in January, alleging members had violated open meeting laws in the acquisition effort. It's unlike Idaho, isn't it, to do things sort of behind closed doors, behind people's backs. Though the state lost, Labrador appealed to Idaho's Supreme Court. Again, Idaho wins. Idaho wins. Follow the money. A legal rematch is set for June, but the University of Idaho's plans to proceed with the purchase suffered another setback when state lawmakers voted last week to ask the Board of Education to reconsider the deal. Legislators said that in a resolution that they don't believe the state's or the people's interests have been fully considered or protected by the parties to the proposed affiliation. Check this out. The resolution also gives legislative approval for the state to take legal action against the Board of Education if it doesn't back off the deal. Lawmakers are concerned about financial risk, given the University of Phoenix's checkered background on student outcomes. They also question whether the Idaho Board of Education, which created a new non-profit venture to facilitate the purchase, had the authority to do so. Now, with the $685 million deal inching slowly forward, university officials contend that legislative approval isn't necessary since the purchase will be funded via the sale of bonds. A related concern for legislators is that Moody's Investors Service was warned that the purchase of Phoenix could cause a downgrade of the University of Idaho's bond rating, affecting $130 million in current debt. Shrouded in secrecy. Again, that's unlike Idaho. When the University of Idaho first began talks with the University of Phoenix last year, there was another potential buyer in the mix, the University of Arkansas system, which was considering the deal. But in April, Arkansas trustees voted 5-4, with one abstention, to reject an agreement with the University of Phoenix, citing concerns about the for-profit behemoth's terrible reputation, among other issues. One trustee warned that if Arkansas didn't jump at the deal, another institution would. At the time, the University of Idaho was already engaged in talks with Titan Partners, an investment banking and consulting firm that was shopping the University of Phoenix to potential buyers. University of Idaho President Scott Green launched exploratory conversations with Titan about the purchase in February 2023, while the University of Arkansas was still caught in Phoenix. Based on those conversations, Green said he believed there were multiple suitors. The competition prompted Green to move quickly and quietly to get a deal done. He told the court in January during the Open Meetings Act trial for the Board of Education, expediency is crucial for the purchase. If the University of Idaho fails to finalise the purchase by May 31st, either party has the option to walk away. If it fails, University of Idaho will be out more than $10 million in legal costs already incurred in the deal. That has become another controversial point, since the bulk of those fees, $7.3 million, have been paid to Hogan Lovells. Get this, a major law firm where Green was chief operating and financial officer before taking the University of Idaho presidency in 2019. Green has defended the use of Hogan Lovells, of course he fucking has, which he said was selected by University of Idaho's general counsel. Yeah. The Idaho Board of Education discussed the prospective purchase in closed executive sessions last March, April and May before they voted publicly on May 18th to move forward with the University of Phoenix acquisition. Those secretive sessions, which the board deemed necessary for the confidential nature of the deal, may now pose a serious complication given the upcoming June appeal before the Supreme Court over alleged Open Meetings Act violations. Once again, timing is key. University officials have previously said bonds to fund the purchase may need to be issued in May. Despite the challenges raised by the upcoming Idaho Supreme Court case and last-minute legislative scrutiny, the Board of Education struck an optimistic tone in a statement to Inside Higher Ed. The Idaho State Board of Education has been and remains open to working with the Idaho legislature on matters related to the proposed affiliation between the University of Idaho and the University of Phoenix. Spokesperson Mike Keckler said in an email, "The proposed transaction remains a very fluid situation and we continue to work towards resolution." Legislative slowdown. Since news of the proposed deal emerged, Green has frequently visited the legislature, where lawmakers have grilled him and other university officials on the details of the deal. Lawmakers have proven particularly testy about being left out of the process. Representative Brent Kane, author of the resolution calling for a pause on the deal, raised concerns about a lack of communication from university officials on the proposed purchase. He also pointed to the legal liability that may come with the deal given past actions against the University of Phoenix, including lawsuits brought by the U.S. Department of Education accusing Phoenix of illegally incentivizing recruiters based on the number of students enrolled, as well as by the Federal Trade Commission for deceptively advertising relationships with outside employers. And apparently, I was reading something else that says that the University of Idaho actually needs more students to attend, and they're contemplating building like an online infrastructure to do like online tutoring. The exposure to the state of Idaho is significant, Crane argued in a hearing last week. He also questioned whether the purchase remained true to the vision and mission of the University of Idaho, which was brick and mortar locations across the state, but will see a rapid online expansion of tens of thousands of out-of-state students if the deal goes through, which is literally what I just said. They're saying that the University of Idaho, for funding reasons, they need more students, and I would say that that's exactly what this is all about. And that will give them a conduit to doing so and an excuse for doing so. Any time a seller wants to sell quickly, that is not a good thing, and you better make sure you slow down and do your due diligence. Another university had an opportunity to buy the University of Phoenix, and they chose not to, he said, alluding to the failed Arkansas deal. Representative John Gannon appealed for the move to be reconsidered, arguing that it should be put to the public vote at the outset. Other legislators, however, praised University of Idaho for thinking ahead to stave off enrollment issues. I believe the University of Idaho is thinking outside the box, Representative Laurie McCann said in a hearing, suggesting the university is being proactive about the looming demographic cliff. She also defended the way University of Idaho went about the deal by going through the Board of Education, not the legislature, noting that is the process we have. She added that legislative intervention could prompt the University of Idaho to sue the state for us meddling in their business. The House resolution, which passed last Tuesday on a 49-21 vote, will now head to the Idaho Senate. And this goes on, right, so let's just jump on ahead. Damage control. Despite the potential legal challenges, University of Idaho officials have expressed confidence in the acquisition moving ahead based on consultations with local and national law firms. The University of Idaho did not respond to the request for comment from Inside Higher Ed on the legislative concerns, but has addressed recent state scrutiny in a post on its website. The State Attorney General has challenged some of the meetings held by our Board of Regents. After significant legal review, our board strongly believes they complied with all meeting law requirements. Importantly, a Deputy Attorney General was present for all of those meetings. University of Idaho officials wrote on a frequently asked questions page about the deal. And then we just got here. So here we go here. Look, through the acquisition process, University of Idaho officials have pointed out purchasers of for-profit institutions such as Purdue University's 2017 acquisition of Kaplan University and the University of Arizona's purchase of Ashford University in 2020. But the latter comparison at least is perhaps less than ideal, given the recent complications that have arisen between Arizona and Ashford. While the University of Arizona faces a $177 million budget shortfall, which University of Arizona officials have stressed was not caused by the purchase of the for-profit college, questions linger about who is responsible for the $72 million in Ashford student loans discharged by the U.S. Department of Education. Whether Arizona will have to pay. So look, the be-all and end-all is this. There is a nearly $700 million deal floating around in the backgrounds of this University of Idaho situation. The university are floundering in this deal. And obviously, when you drop this crime smack bang in the middle of this deal that was working on such tight deadlines, and were some of you even realising that some of these things, that like the times and the deadlines and the dates, if you ever need more of an incentive to push things along quickly, to keep things hush-hush, to knock houses down, get rid of them, get shot, bury them, don't want to talk about it. Keep the memorial garden within the university walls itself. Let the kids think that they can deal with it and sort it all out. You know what I mean? It's this deal. Has the University of Idaho and, the Idaho 4 case always been impacted in the background by this deal? And is that term, follow the money, absolutely relevant in this case? Let me know down below, and I'll catch you all in video 2 later.